You may not have heard of him, but Sam Altman's influence is enormous. Before being the CEO of OpenAI, the company behind the revolutionary ChatGPT, Sam Altman has been a mentor and an investor for some of the most successful companies in recent history, including Airbnb, Stripe, Reddit, Dropbox, Patreon, Asana, Pinterest, Instacart, and many more. Sam Altman first achieved billionaire status in January 2023 after OpenAI completed a fundraising round involving Microsoft with a current estimated net worth of $2 billion. I can guarantee you that this number can only go up in the next few years. Sam Altman's achievements are unrivaled, but it wasn't always that way. His journey has been paved with failures and surprises. And in this video, I'm going to share Sam Altman's heroic business journey and the most impactful lessons he had to learn throughout his career. St. Louis, Missouri, April 22nd, 1993. It's a lovely spring day. The little brick house outside of the city is bathed in the sun. Inside the house, the mood is joyful. Sam turns 8 years old today. As he ripped through the wrapping paper of his gift, his eyes widened with wonder. It was a computer, his very first one. Sam had been dreaming of having his own computer for years, and now his wish had come true. Sam knew this was the best gift he ever had. He quickly set up the computer on his small desk in his bedroom, and as he clicked his mouse around, he felt like he had stumbled upon an entire new world. Sam became more and more fascinated with technology as his love for the computer grew. He devoted all of his free time to his computer, where he studied programming and the digital world to the best of his ability. 22 years later, grown-up Sam Altman would share that his birthday gift changed everything. Because of his love for technology, he decided to study computer science at Stanford University, where he became interested in the startup community and began to consider his entrepreneurial ambitions. In his second year there, Sam, who was then 19 years old, in his small college dorm room and stared at his laptop screen. He had always scored straight A's while doing particularly well in math and programming, but a feeling of uncertainty persisted as he scanned through the endless lists of potential majors and career paths. You see, he had always been a little bit of a risk taker, developing his poker skills while playing with his friends late at night. Yet, as he sat there thinking about his future, he couldn't help but get a taste of that same adrenaline-fueled thrill. Eventually, he made up his mind. He would follow his instincts and go all in. After only 2 years there, he walked out of Stanford University for good in order to launch his first startup with a friend, Looped. The idea for Looped was a location-based social app for the first smartphones. By the summer of 2005, Sam Altman and Nick Sivo nervously stepped into the office of Y Combinator, the then newly opened startup accelerator from the Silicon Valley. Sitting behind the desk was the intimidating CEO, Paul Graham. The two entrepreneurs took a deep breath and began their pitch. They explained that with Looped, you can see on your phone a friend that is 10 blocks away, get alerted when they're nearby, and discover places around you that your friends like, all while including privacy controls for the users. The idea was quite innovative at the time, and Paul Graham saw something special in Sam. Looped received funding from the most prestigious venture capital firms. That summer, Sam worked non-stop. He was excellent at securing meetings with mobile carriers and securing agreements with them to feature the app, whose value eventually skyrocketed to a $175 million valuation. But the consumers never bought it. As Sam put it himself, we had the optimistic view that location would be all important. The pessimistic view was that people would lie on their couch and just consume content. And that is what happened. I learned you can't make humans do something they don't want to do. In 2012, he and the other founders sold the company for $43 million, negative return for their VCs. Looped was shut down shortly after. That was a rough time for Sam, and it took him a while to digest his first startup failure. But he learned some valuable lessons and even wrote the following thoughts about founders' depression. If you ask a founder how their startup is going, the answer is almost always some version of great. There is a huge amount of pressure as a founder to never show weakness and to be the cheerleader in all internal and external situations. The world can be falling down around you, and most of the time when you're running a company, it is, and you have to be strong, confident, and optimistic. Failing is terrifying, and so is looking stupid. But startups are not life and death matters. It's just work. For whatever it's worth, you are not alone, and you shouldn't be ashamed. Looking back from this failure, Sam recently shared some words of advice for other aspiring entrepreneurs, saying, "The thing I wish someone had told me during the first one is that no one else thinks about your failure as much as you do, and that as long as you don't psych yourself out, you can try again." Despite its failure, Looped allowed Altman to make a name for himself within the Silicon Valley. He then moved on to launch Hydrogen Capital, a small venture fund. He successfully raised $21 million, of which he invested 75% in companies coming from Y Combinator. Hydrogen's value increased tenfold in just 4 years. He had a real talent for sensing the right opportunities, and he learned to be okay with his failures. As he puts it himself,
the best thing about investing in a lot of companies is you learn to be, it's very humbling. You learn to be majorly wrong very frequently. And you learn that that's okay as long as the magnitude of the successes pays for all of the failures.
In 2014, Sam radically pivoted and changed the course of his career. Paul Graham's kitchen was filled with the clinking of utensils and the sizzling of food as the founder of Y Combinator prepared a meal. He was a tired man with 2 young children, feeling burned out from simultaneously running Y Combinator. In the midst of this, he suddenly turned to Sam and posed a life-changing question. "Sam, do you want to take over YC?" And Sam smiled. He smiled like it was like when you throw a ball of paper into the waste basket across the room. That kind of smile, described Paul Graham. Under Sam Altman's leadership, Y Combinator grew fast. He aimed to change the world and build a $1 trillion empire. Y Combinator grew into a powerhouse that churned out some of the most successful startups of the past decade, including Airbnb, Dropbox, and Reddit, to name a few. But Sam Altman didn't stop there. Simultaneously, in 2015, Altman and a group of like-minded individuals, including Tesla CEO Elon Musk and several leading AI researchers, co-founded OpenAI. The organization was formed with the goal of advancing AI in a safe and beneficial way, and to ensure that its benefits were distributed fairly across society. Altman's experience leading Y Combinator gave him the skills and connections he needed to launch and grow OpenAI. Off to a great start, a small group of tech billionaires pledged $1 billion as a research grant to OpenAI. But many people remained skeptical at the sci-fi-esque vision of OpenAI. When hearing Sam Altman's ideas for monetizing OpenAI, people would literally laugh at him.
We have made a soft promise to investors that once we've built this sort of generally intelligent system, basically we will ask it to figure out a way to generate an investment return for you. It sounds like an episode of Silicon Valley. It really does. I get it. You can laugh. It's all right. But it is what I actually believe is going to happen.
In February 2018, Elon Musk resigned from the board of OpenAI. The causes he mentioned were his busy schedule and a potential conflict of interest given his other roles in the tech industry. Now, a few years later, Musk actually did express publicly that OpenAI was not open enough, neither open source nor non-profit anymore. If you enjoy the effort that goes into creating these videos, please consider subscribing and giving us a like. That would really help us grow. San Francisco, California, December 5th, 2022. It was a crisp winter morning in San Francisco, and Sam Altman was standing in the grand foyer of his mansion, staring at the computer screen in front of him. His eyes were fixed on a dashboard where he was tracking the usage statistics of OpenAI's revolutionary software, ChatGPT. Sam had barely slept since the launch of ChatGPT 5 days ago, spending every waking moment monitoring its performance and user engagement. But he was still unprepared for what he saw on the screen. His eyes widened as he saw the number, 1,038,000. Sam couldn't believe it. ChatGPT had crossed the 1 million user mark in just 5 days. It was an incredible achievement, one that he had only dared to dream of. Sam couldn't wait to see what the future held for ChatGPT. He knew that there were challenges ahead, but he was ready to face them head on. He was confident that ChatGPT was going to change the world in ways that he could never have imagined, and he was honored be part of that change. 2 months later, ChatGPT reportedly hit 100 million active users, making it the fastest growing consumer software in history. By comparison, it took TikTok 9 months and Instagram 2.5 years to reach this number of users. Despite the fact that he never graduated from Stanford, Sam stepped foot again inside the university. This time, not as a student, but as a teacher. Some of the many lessons that he learned are the following. When asked how to prioritize projects, Sam shares 2 interesting frameworks.
I try to think about where I can have the biggest net impact on the world. And then also just regret minimization. You get to live once. It's really important that you do what you want to do and that you spend time with the people you'd like to work with and work on the things that you find personally fulfilling. And so if I think I'm going to really regret doing something or regret not doing something, even if I think it's not the best use of my time for pure sort of net impact on the world, I'm still willing to to take that really seriously. The other framework besides the sort of impact maximization, regret minimization that I found really useful is spend a little bit of effort trying a lot of things and then relentlessly prune down and focus quickly on the ones that you like and the ones that seem to be working.
When Sam is asked what is the most underrated quality of a successful entrepreneur, listen to his answer.
Being really determined. This is more important than being smart. This is more important than having a network. This is more important than a great idea. So much about being a successful entrepreneur is just not giving up.
When discussing about caring what other people think of him, this is what Sam said to a reporter. The missing circuit in my brain, the circuit that would make me care what people think about me, is a real gift. Most people want to be accepted, so they won't take risks that could make them look crazy, which actually makes them wildly miscalculate risk.
It really does. I get it. You can laugh. It's all right. But it is what I am.
Today, Altman is recognized as one of the most successful and influential entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, with a current estimated net worth of $2 billion. More recently, he has been showing an increasing commitment to charities and social responsibility. He continues to inspire others with his example of grit, determination, and unwavering belief in the power of entrepreneurship to change the world. Now tell me, what aspect of Sam Altman's journey resonated with you the most? From what we've shared today with you, what lessons can you apply in your own life?